Hey Algebra 2, so in this video we are going to be covering section 4.3, multiplying and dividing rational functions. Oh my goodness guys, I'm tired. Okay, so before we get into it, we want to review how would you simplify 12/18ths? So you would not say, well, 11 plus 1 is 12 and 11 plus 7 is 18, and then say these 11's canceled and you're left with 1/7. That should say 1/7, not 1/17. But anyways, either way, the point of this example is this is no good. So sad. Okay? You cannot cancel numbers when they're being added. You can only cancel factors. So you would say, well, 6 times 2 is 12 and 6 times 3 is 18. And 6 divided by 6 is 1, so we are left with 2/3. And the reason this can cancel is because the opposite of multiplying is dividing. Okay? So the moral of the story is things must be multiplied if you want to cancel them. So let's do some examples with actual rational functions. So here we have two rational functions that we're multiplying together. Sometimes it's okay to multiply, right? So there's, I guess, two ways you could do this. And I'll color code because I got new pens. Okay, so option 1, sometimes students will do 3 times 4 is 12, and then we have x cubed times b divided by 2 times 9 is 18 times b, and x times x is x squared. And then they simplify from here. Now, we don't want you to be using a calculator. You should know how to simplify this, and we're going to want you to show your work. So we want to see how things cancel, and things are going to cancel because, well, this is the same as 4 times 3, which we just broke up. And you could separate this into x squared times x if you wanted to. You don't really have to with variables because of the rules of exponents. And what, 3 times 6? And be like, oh my gosh, so my b's are going to cancel, and my x squareds are going to cancel, and my 3's are going to cancel, and I'm going to be left with 4x over 6. But this can be reduced even more, and if you want, you could break it up into factors, but that just seems kind of silly to me. They're both divisible by 2. What I personally like to do is I simplify it right from here, and I go, okay, well, this 3 is a 1. Well, I guess I'll rewrite it for you. So option 2, I guess, just rewrite it. Okay, you could just like simplify as if they were under one symbol, I guess, if you like multiply them together. Be like, okay, well 9 is divisible by 3 times. This will be a 1. If this is an x cubed, you can do that one after. And 4 divided by 2 would give us 2. And that makes it a little bit easier. So you do 1 times 2, which is 2. X cubed times b. Bx times 3x. And then my b's cancel, and this is becoming x because 3 minus 2. So either way, you get the same answer. You guys just can kind of decide which you prefer. Regardless, you need to show your algebra, your work. Okay, for this example, we actually have some bigger polynomials. So for an example like this, what you're going to want to do is factor as much as you can. So x plus 1 can't really be factored anymore. But the denominator, what multiplies to negative 6 and adds to negative 1. So that's what? X plus 2 times x minus 3, right? 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. 2 minus 3 is negative 1, yeah. We can factor out a greatest common factor here, so that's going to be a 3. And we're left with x minus 3. Down here we have an x plus 3. Now things only cancel if it's like numerator and denominator type situation. So this x minus 3 will cancel with this x minus 3. So then our final answer will be 3 times x plus 1 over x plus 2 times x plus 3. And then you can take this a step further and simplify it by multiplying. So this will be 3x plus 3. X times x is x squared. We would have 2x and 3x. So that'd be 5x. And 3 times 2 is 6. And that'd be our final answer. And probably also accept the factored form. Okay, so if the numbers are bigger, you want to maybe divide these up into factors. You could do that if you wanted to. So you could think of, right, 600 is actually 30 times 20. And so then my 30s would cancel. And we're left with, well, what else would cancel right off the bat? My y's would cancel, my z's would cancel. Okay, so then I'd have 25 x cubed over 20. These can simplify a little bit more because we can do 5 times 5 times x cubed. And this is 4 times 5. So then our final answer would be 5x cubed over 4. Cool. And you could have simplified it up here to get to this point, but I want to see your work. So you shouldn't be just using a calculator. Okay, for this one, again, we need to do some factoring. So greatest common factor. For this is difference of squares, so x plus 5 times x minus 5. And this, if we wanted to turn it into a fraction, if that helps, you can. We can factor out an x. And then my x minus 5's will cancel. And it looks like that's it. Oh wait, we have the 4 times x. So 4 times x, 4x, we are left with an x minus 2. And then an x plus 5. And if we wanted to simplify this more, we could do 4x times x, which is 4x squared. 4x times negative 2, so negative 8x over x plus 5. We're done. Okay, so basically make sure you are showing some simplifying and make sure like when there's like whole numbers, you need to make sure you're showing some factoring first. I feel like I'm not doing a great job with this because I'm so tired. But you need this video made, so here we go. Okay, so we talked about this the other day. This is not how you divide by fractions. Dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So what you would want to do is rewrite this as 2/3 divided by 5/6. And then you keep the first fraction as is, change it to multiplication, and then make this reciprocal. And that's a lot easier to solve. So, right, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So then we can do 2 times 2, which is 4 over 5. Or remember, if you wanted to, you could say like 2 times 2 times 3 over 3 times 5, and then cancel that way. And you get 4/5. Okay. So if we look at this example here, I'm going to keep this fraction as is. So I got 3c over 2b squared times the reciprocal, so 4b over 9c. I could simplify my 2 and my 4. My c's will cancel. My 3 will cancel. Actually, let's do this one a little bit different. Sorry. I think this method will work for a lot of students. So same thing with the multiply by the reciprocal. And then if you want, you could just multiply by factors, right? So we have 3 times 4 times b times c over 2 times 9 times b squared times c. I don't know if that helps. So the c's would cancel. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 3 divided by 9, this will be 1, and this will be 3. So then I have 1 times 2 times, and then if I have a b squared over, this will be 1, and this will become b. So my numerator, I'm left with the 2, and then denominator, I'm left with the 3b. Okay, and this last example. Alright, so for this last example, we have to factor first, kind of like what we did on the other page. Or, well, you could do either. Why don't we do the reciprocal first? So we have 8x plus 24 over 28x plus 21 times 2x plus, oh wait, 4x plus 3 over 2x plus 6. Now we want to factor everything. So greatest common factor here is 8. Oh my gosh, brain fart. If I have 24 divided by 8, I'm so tired right now. That's 3, right? Yeah, that's 3. Thanks, guys. Okay, these two are divisible by 7, and 28 divided by 7 is 4. 21 divided by 7 is 3. And then, well, that works out nicely. So these will cancel. This I can take out a 2. So my x plus 3's cancel. If this is too much right now, you could simplify it another and go 8 over 7 times 2. But 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I've got 4/7 as my final answer. Sorry guys that I messed up quite a few times. I'm not going to remake this video because I'm really tired and I don't want to. Hopefully this makes sense. If it doesn't, then let me know and I would be happy to do some more practice problems with you. But basically, your rule of thumb is if you're ever given a fraction within a fraction, change it to division, flip, and multiply by the reciprocal. When you're simplifying, you want to factor everything and then cancel factors with each other. And then make sure you are showing your work.